Hey mamas! Welcome to video 5. Now, this one is going to be about reigniting your spark for this new year and choosing your direction. Okay. So, as you've gone through the workbook, I hope that you're getting a better understanding where you came from and where you want to go. Okay. I hope that you're getting some clarity on your creativity and how your creativity is affecting all areas of your life and how you would love for it to affect to be used, not affect, how you'd love for it to be used in all areas of your life. And because of this clarity, I'm hoping that your confidence is increasing and that this is going to encourage you to actually take steps and actually um, do them and not just think about being creative, but actually getting your hands dirty and being creative, right? Um, so, as you go through the workbook, you're going to be going through the different categories and pinpointing how you would use your creativity and what goals you want to put in there to use your creativity. And as you dig deeper into your creative leanings, right? With the gifts. Um, but I don't want that to let that over. So what I'm going to have you do is just as you're picking one thing or a few things to start off with your categories on how to start, I want you to kind of narrow even things further. What I mean is, like, I want you to pick one direction. So, not the group. I think there was a group called One Direction, right? But to pick one, if it's like one theme or one type of activity or um, one word. So, like, where you everything is going to be through that lens, right? So, like, if you're going to do like, okay, I'm going to be working on vibrant colors to start off with this year. Now, that doesn't mean that you do it through the 1 year, which would be nice if you just stuck with one thing through the year. But as I know, our interest that will be hard for me. Interests change or get developed even further. They spark new ideas. But if you have a general concept, so it could be like, this year I'm going to be working with bright colors. So, bright colors is any color that's bright, right? Um, It doesn't have to be the hue that's bright. It could be the way you use it that makes it bright. um, but you could be like, okay, I'm going to work on bright colors. So anything that I do, I'd be like, okay, so what colors am I going to be using? Or backdrop colors am I going to be using depending on what it is? If I'm doing books, scrapbooking, yeah, scrapbooking, um, I'm going to do bright colors. The paper that I choose, the ribbon that I choose, all the different embellishments that I choose would lend to that feeling of vibrancy. Or you could even do it by theme. Like, you could have this year is going to be created around the word joyful experiences, right? So everything that you make or do creatively, not necessarily creatively, because you could also add this into your categories and to fit in any area of your life, you could be like, everything would be geared towards or through the lens of making my experiences joyful, making what people experience through what they see me do as joyful. So I'm spreading joy. I mean, just have one direction. Because many times, and I know this is true from what I do, I kind of go all over the place and I'm like, where am I? What am I doing? And so as I'm trying to go everywhere, I'm sometimes going nowhere. Yeah. So see if you can pick one direction, even if it's like for this first month, as I am working on self, I am just going to focus on the word peace. So everything that I do for myself creatively, or using my creative gifts and talents for myself in the area of myself, goal wise, is going to be around giving me a more in my space, my home, my environment, when I go out with myself, my confidence is at peace, you know? So you could do it by month or even by category, right? So like the whole time that I'm doing about the relationships with my family, like all my relationships, families, and friends. I'm going to be doing around the word Thanksgiving. So thanking them and showing appreciation for them. So it could be that way, right? Or you could make it even fun. You're like, okay, this month I'm only going to be doing things with blue. So blue will be the main color. I may have supporting colors, but blue. So I want you to think on one direction. Okay, so another way you could use this is also like if you're like me and you have many interests, focus on one interest at a time. So if I'm going to be doing just jewelry making, I want to make unique jewelry, like actually focus and do creatively, make unique pieces. I can focus in 1 month on doing just jewelry. Even if I have ideas for my painting, even if I have ideas for baking or cooking or bread or the other things that I do, right? Or sewing, whatever. Even if I have ideas for those, I can jot them down, but I come back and focus back on the jewelry. So you can do it that way. But what I'm trying to say is I want you to pick one thing, one direction, something that would be your um is it like a lotus point? Where everything that you do surrounds that, right? That concept, that one thing. This way, you are not going to be pulled in all these different directions. And this way you can be more disciplined or more focused, right? And actually accomplish more than you would have if you were going all over the place. Now, one important thing that I want you to realize is every step counts. Every step. Whether it's a small step, a tiny step, an almost invisible step, that counts. They don't have to be big plans. You don't have to have the whole thing done. Small steps count more than the big plans because I could go ahead and make all this big elaborate plan of like I make this book series, right? On this girl detective who can go from one dimension to another dimension into space and right. So I have this whole big idea and I keep on excuse me, I keep on making it more elaborate, more unique and more. But if I don't start the outline for the first book, if I don't start uh, defining the characters, like putting the character profiles of my main characters, I can expand this big idea all I want, but I would still have zero. Wait, what's zero? I would still have zero. Yeah. Haha. Yeah. Not this. This. I would still have a zero, right? So I want you to realize that yes, we can make big plans. I'm not saying not to make big plans, but you can make big plans. But I don't want you to be more focused on the big plan that you forget the small steps because the small steps make the big plan happen. Okay? So just remember small steps count more than the big plan. You can have a big plan, but it is nothing without the small steps. Okay. Next thing, I want you to realize that as we're going through this, and I've been talking about it, I want to encourage us to involve our creativity throughout every area of our life, right? Some things may be more obvious, so this might be something that you develop to look at, which I am learning to do. And I guess it takes conscious effort to actually pause, maybe at the end of the day or something, which I need to start doing, and thinking over how I creatively did something. And sometimes it may not be as obvious as, oh, I painted that desk that I wanted to paint. No, it could be more of like, I decided to put um, the food in the oven so that it starts cooking. Then I could do my laundry instead of doing my laundry first. That takes up time while I could have had my food in the oven, right? So even that is creative because I'm processing and I'm looking at both activities and seeing how they can complement each other and how I can use my time wisely and accomplish both within the same framework of time, right? So stuff like that. Um, so just realize that as we go through this period, as we go through this new year and going through the workbook, I want you to start thinking about this year being a year where your life is going to be aligned creatively, not because you have to get things done, not because you have to check things off your goals list or finish one category, because the categories are not going to be done. You're going to keep on adding more things. And as we keep on doing this in practice and keep on implementing things and changing things and adjusting things, we're going to be adding more things into those categories. So as we keep on doing that, I want us to focus on life being creative as opposed to checking off things that are creative, right? So whether even if you even if you have a business doing business like something creative for your business, I want you to focus more on the creative um, the creative aspect within your whole life and not just creating things for your business. Okay. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because as we pay more attention to how creativity affects our life and how, as we focus on one thing and get excited because now we're defining things more and we're understanding where we came from and we have a goal to what we want our life to look like, creatively speaking, um, this makes things better and it gives our life a refresh, right? Because we're looking at it from a different lens. We're not looking at it from the lens that everybody else will be looking at their lives. We're going to be looking at it from the lens of creative mama. And that is my dream for you. So we're choosing progress over pressure. I am not just going to want to check off all my lists, all my goals, but I am going on a journey, a creative journey through the year as I try and involve that creative part of me that I've been leaving out of the rest of my life to bring it back into my life and make my life even richer, better, and more fulfilling. Okay, mamas, I hope these video series have helped, and I hope the workbook helps you even more. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, send a message, okay? Um, Questions I would suggest, unless they're personal, send to me. If not, put them in the comments so that we can all learn from each other, because there's some things that I don't know that I'm going to be learning from you guys, and there's some things that you might learn from me. So it's all of us are learning together, all of us are in this journey together, and all of us are progressing together in our own special, unique way. Okay. Bye for now and have an awesome start of the year.